Hi. I don't know if this is the right place to send this, but your blog is the only one I've seen that takes a weird thing happen seriously without turning it into a joke. I'm writing this like a report because that's the only way I can get through it. I grew up in Northeast Ohio in a rental house that always felt half-finished. Peeling paint. The back door didn't latch unless you lifted it. The upstairs hallway sloped a little. The landlord would fix it next week and then disappear. My sister, Kelsey, raised me more than my mom did. Mom would be around for a while, then gone, then back like nothing happened. When she was using, she moved through the house like she was late for something. She talked fast and quiet, and she always wanted to know where things were kept. Kelsey had rules. They were practical rules, not ghost rules. Lock the doors at dusk. Don't answer knocks after dark. Don't say out loud where money is. Don't leave pills on the counter. Most of those rules were about Mom, even if we didn't say it. The one that matters is the bathroom rule. We had one bathroom upstairs at the end of the hall. Old knob lock that could be turned from the inside. A vent fan that barely worked. A small window over the tub that stuck. Kelsey told me, more than once, that if something ever happened at night, I should go in there, lock it, and not open the door for any voice. She said it in a flat way, like she was describing a fire drill. I asked her why, and she said, because people can sound like people you know. Don't get smart, just don't open. At the time, I thought she meant Mom would come home high and try to talk her way into anything. I didn't think it would be like what happened. The night I'm writing about, Mom had been gone for a stretch. Kelsey and I were alone in the house. We ate boxed mac and cheese and watched a movie low on the living room TV. The heat clicked on and off. I went upstairs first because I had school in the morning and Kelsey had to be up early for work. I remember small details because I keep replaying them. My bedroom door not shutting all the way unless I pushed it. The faint smell of bleach from the bathroom, like Kelsey had cleaned it. The hallway nightlight plugged in near the stairs. I brushed my teeth and went to bed. I woke up to a sound that didn't fit the house. Not the furnace. Not the pipes. It was the back door, the lower lock, the one that sometimes slipped. There was a short rattle, then a heavier push, then the sound of the chain catching. Then Kelsey's voice, from downstairs, said my name, quiet but sharp, the way she did when she wanted me to listen. Bathroom, now, she said. I didn't ask questions. I got out of bed and my feet were cold on the hallway carpet. I could hear Kelsey moving fast below me, like she was crossing the living room. I went to the bathroom, shut the door, turned the lock, and sat on the floor by the tub with my knees up. I had my phone, but it was old and the battery was never good. The screen glow felt too bright. I dimmed it and held it close. Downstairs there were voices. One was Kelsey, loud, telling someone to get out and that she'd called the police. The other was softer at first, like someone trying to sound calm. I couldn't make out words, just the cadence. Then the upstairs stairs creaked. We knew every sound in that house. The third step always squeaked like a bird. The top landing made a dull thump when someone put their weight on it. I heard all of it, slow, like whoever was coming up was taking their time. A voice called from the bottom of the stairs. "Honey, it's me." It was my mom's voice. I froze because my first thought was relief. My second thought was that Mom wasn't supposed to be there, and Kelsey had told me not to open the door for any voice. I stayed still and tried to breathe quiet. The footsteps came down the hall. The hallway nightlight made a thin strip of light under the bathroom door. A shadow crossed it and stopped. Mom's voice right outside the door said my name. She said it the way she did when she wanted me to feel guilty for not being happy to see her. "Baby, open up. I just need to talk to you." I didn't answer. The doorknob turned once, gently like she expected it to open. Then it stopped, and her tone changed like she flipped a switch. "Open the door," she said, still Mom's voice but harder. I held my knees and stared at the lock. The knob wiggled again. Then a pause. Then Kelsey's voice spoke from the other side. "Hey, it's okay," it said, close to the door, like Kelsey was right there. "It's me. I'm alone. I need you to open it." That is the moment I knew something was wrong in a way I couldn't explain away. I could hear Kelsey downstairs. I could hear her in the living room yelling at someone, moving fast, like she was pushing furniture or grabbing something. She could not also be at the bathroom door. The voice outside the door did not sound like a person doing an impression. It sounded like Kelsey. It had her exact tired tone and the way she said okay like K. It even did the little half laugh she used when she was trying not to scare me. I put my hand over my mouth because I was afraid I'd answer without thinking. The voice did a pattern after that. It would try Mom, then it would try Kelsey, then it would try Mom again. Each attempt was like a different script. Mom voice pleading, "Please, I'm cold, let me in, I won't be mad." Kelsey voice practical, "I need my phone, open up and hand it to me, hurry. You're gonna regret this, you think you're better than me?" Whispering, "Listen, I can't keep her downstairs, open the door just a crack." Over and over. Always the same order, always ending on the whisper. Then silence for a short stretch, like it was resetting. I watched the strip of light under the door. The shadow would shift during the silence, like whoever it was adjusting their stance. The knob would jiggle at the start of each cycle, like a cue. I tried calling Kelsey, but my phone took forever to unlock and my hands were shaking. I texted her instead because I couldn't make noise. I typed, "I'm in bathroom, someone outside, not you." A minute later my phone buzzed with her reply, "Stay in, do not open, no matter what." After that, the voice outside the door started using things it shouldn't have known. Stuff Kelsey and I didn't say out loud. In Mom's voice, "I know you hid it, I just need it. I'm sick." In Kelsey's voice, "It's behind the towel. I put it there. Just open up." There was a towel rack in the bathroom with a folded towel, and behind it, taped to the wall, Kelsey kept an envelope with cash for rent. We didn't talk about it. We just both knew. The voice knew. The knob turned hard enough that the whole door shook. Then the whisper in Kelsey's voice, closer than before, "She's gonna hurt me if you don't." I didn't move. I stared at the gap between the door and the floor like I could see proof of who it was. Then there was a new sound. Something scraping along the door jamb, like a fingernail or a thin piece of metal. The lock rattled. The old knob lock wasn't a deadbolt. It was the kind you could pop if you tried. Downstairs, Kelsey shouted again, louder, and I heard a crash like a chair tipping. She yelled, "Get out! I already called!" The voice outside my door stopped cycling for the first time. It went quiet for a long stretch. I thought maybe it left. Then in my own voice from the hall it said, "Kelsey, are you there?" I felt my stomach drop, because I had not spoken since I entered the bathroom. I hadn't even whispered. But the voice used my exact tone, the little rasp I had when I was tired. It repeated it once more, still my voice. "Kelsey, are you there?" Like it was practicing. Then it went back to Mom's voice, casual now, like we were having a normal conversation through a closed door. "Okay, fine. I'll do it the hard way." The scraping started again. The knob jerked and the door flexed. The strip of light under the door narrowed and widened like the person outside was leaning in. I looked around for something to do, anything practical. The bathroom had a small cabinet, a hamper, cleaning supplies under the sink. I grabbed the toilet brush holder and wedged it against the bottom of the door. Useless, but it made me feel less helpless. I sat with my back to the tub and my feet braced against the door. I could hear sirens far away, then closer. Whoever was outside my door heard them too. The scraping stopped. The shadow moved away from the door and then back again like it couldn't decide. Then Mom's voice turned sweet again. "Baby, please, open it. I'm your mom." Then Kelsey's voice, the whisper script. "Open it just a crack." Then my own voice again right outside, small and scared. Kelsey, I'm in here. That one almost got me. It hit something automatic in me, like if I heard myself scared I had to fix it. My hand went to the lock before I caught myself. I sat on it so I couldn't reach it. The sirens got loud enough that the windows rattled. I heard Kelsey downstairs, breathless, yelling, "Up here! She's in the house!" Heavy footsteps came in through the front door, not trying to be quiet. Men's voices, commands, the sound of someone going up the stairs fast. The voice outside my door went dead silent. No goodbye, no last attempt, just gone. There was a knock on the bathroom door, firm and steady. A man's voice said, "Police, are you inside? Are you safe?" I didn't answer at first because Kelsey's rule had been don't open for any voice. Even then, I couldn't trust it. I texted Kelsey again. "Police at door?" She replied right away. "Yes, it's them. Stay locked until I say." A moment later, Kelsey's real voice from the hall, shaky and hoarse, said my name and told me to open it now. I recognized the way her voice cracked at the end. I unlocked the door and opened it a little, keeping the chain on even though there was no chain. That's how it felt. 2 police officers were in the hall. Kelsey stood behind them, wrapped in a blanket even though it wasn't cold inside. They asked if I was hurt. I wasn't. They asked if anyone else was in the house. Kelsey said no. They found our mom downstairs in the kitchen. She was alive. She was high. She was angry. She kept trying to stand up and then slumping back into the chair like her bones were loose. She kept saying she just wanted her stuff and that Kelsey was hiding it. She said she heard us calling her names. She said we were laughing at her. When the officers led her out, she turned her head and looked up the stairs and said my name in a voice that sounded exactly like the first time at my bathroom door. After they left, Kelsey checked the bathroom like she was checking a window after a storm. She pulled the towel back, and the envelope was still there. Nothing was missing. Kelsey told me what happened downstairs. Mom had come in through the back, and Kelsey confronted her. Mom swore she'd leave if Kelsey gave her the stash. Kelsey said there was no stash. Mom didn't believe her. Kelsey said Mom kept changing tactics, begging, then accusing, then pretending she was calm. Kelsey said Mom started talking in my voice for a second, like she was trying to lure Kelsey into looking away from the stairs. Kelsey thought she imagined it until she heard Mom do it again. That's the only time I've ever heard Kelsey admit she was scared of something that wasn't just a person being violent. Kelsey said it felt like Mom could copy whatever voice got the fastest reaction. Here is the part that makes me send this to you. After that night, the rule didn't stop being necessary. Mom was kept away for a while, but not forever. And the voice thing didn't stay tied to her being in the house. It started showing up in a smaller, more methodical way, like it had learned to work within limits. If the upstairs bathroom door is closed, we hear voices on the other side sometimes. Always the same sequence. Mom, Kelsey whisper. Then silence. It happens even when Kelsey is at work and I am alone, even when I have checked that every door and window is locked. It happens even when Mom is in treatment and we know where she is, because Kelsey drives her there sometimes and comes straight back. We started keeping a notebook on the shelf above the toilet paper to log it, because Kelsey said if we didn't write it down, we'd start doubting ourselves. We write the day of the week, what time it felt like, and which voice it ended on. It almost always ends on Kelsey whispering, telling me to open it just a crack. I can't tell you why it sticks to that door. I can tell you it behaves like a routine. It doesn't improvise much anymore, except for the one time it used my voice again. That happened when Kelsey was in the shower and I was in my bedroom. I heard myself say from the hall, "Kelsey, are you there?" And then the doorknob turned, gentle, like it was waiting for me to do the rest. We replaced the knob lock with a keyed lock. We keep the key on a nail high up in the linen closet, and we don't tell anyone where. The routine still happens. Now the knob just turns until it hits the stop, like someone testing it. Kelsey's original rule has expanded. Don't open for any voice. Don't answer back. Don't stand right in front of the door. If you have to go in there at night, lock it and turn on the fan, because the fan noise makes it harder to catch the exact words. Sometimes I can hear it through the fan anyway. I'm older now, but I still find myself checking that bathroom door before I go to bed, making sure it's fully shut because for some reason it is worse when it's cracked. If it's cracked, the voices start sooner and the whisper part sounds closer. Kelsey moved out eventually. I didn't. I'm writing this from the same house because rent is what it is and I don't have money to just leave. The bathroom door has been repainted twice and it still shows old dents near the knob, like someone tried to force it once. My mom still calls sometimes. Sometimes she's sober and crying. Sometimes she's not. When she says my name on the phone, I have to focus on the context, on the background noise, on whether it matches where she says she is, because the tone is too familiar to trust. If you post this, don't use my last name. I'm not trying to become a story people gawk at. I just want there to be a record somewhere outside my notebook. Because if I ever move away and something happens to Kelsey or me, I don't want the only proof to be a lock on a bathroom door and a stack of pages that could get thrown out. I'm still following the rule. I don't open the bathroom door for any voice. But I'm not sure that's the same as being safe, because now the voice doesn't always need the door. Sometimes it just needs me to believe it's someone I love.